Hi.
Me how?
Meow.
We're learning Mandarin.
Yeah,
Is everybody currently learning Mandarin right now?
that's what I hear. Yeah, it's a whole movement.
But you actually downloaded the app Red Note. I didn't.
I
I
did.
haven't.
Yeah, I did, but then I got scared and I deleted it just briefly because I heard bad
It's
things
I
too.
heard it's safe over there. I heard it's very welcoming.
I heard the same thing and so far it looks like it is, but I can't understand a damn thing. So
Yeah.
I just guessed trying to get my stuff set up and anyway, yeah, it's I have it.
Here we are. It is Friday the 17th of January and we still don't know if TikTok is going bye-bye.
Boom, boom,
Everybody's
boom.
waiting. Everybody, if one more person asks, do you think TikTok's going away? No, we don't know. Yes or
I mean,
no?
I don't think it is. I am in pure denial. I will not believe that it is going away until it is gone.
I,
Everybody can do the scare thing. Everybody can say what they're going to say. Things change daily, and I have this whole idea of what's going to happen in my head, and it doesn't include TikTok going away. So,
yeah, you think old Trump is gonna come in and try to make some friends and say, I'm keeping
oh,
TikTok.
100%. I think it's all a big scare tactic to cause all of us to be like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then Trump on Monday is going to do his little walkie walk and all the things. And then all of a sudden it's going to be like, I brought TikTok back
Yeah. I
because
think
I want you to love me.
I think that too. I fully see that happening. But today nothing surprises me. And honestly, like I'm not trying to put too much energy into the what ifs and it's out of my control. It's out of my fucking
Right.
control. On Monday, whether or not we have TikTok, if it's still available without updates and down, I don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like, do I care? Yes, but you know what? Something is exciting for a creative person, when somebody takes something away from you or steals your idea, the nice thing about being a creative is you can quickly pivot and come up with a new creative idea. And because of that, we have been brainstorming nonstop some really exciting ideas and
And working off of previous things that we already kind of had
yeah,
going,
so many goals that we wanted to accomplish are now like
almost being
the
forced.
fire is under our ass is
Yeah.
basically what we're saying, because we're like, okay, if we lose our following on TikTok, for me that's everything. For me that is everything, and that's where I want to be, is TikTok. If that goes away, where can I show up for you guys other than this
Right,
podcast?
because I think the reason that a lot of people are so upset is because of the community behind it. It's not the app itself. It's not the edits or the
It's the culture, it's the
filters.
community.
It's the fact that for people like you and I, that was our queer representation. That was what
For
allowed
the first
us,
time in our life.
right. It allowed us to have the comfort and the backing that we needed at the time to come out. Anyway, we're trying to figure out how we're going to bring the community from there somewhere else, and we can still have our people and they can have us. So I think a lot of people know already we've had Patreon for a long time.
We have, and there have been times where we are um very Patreon focused, and then there's times where we kind of
Pull it back.
pull it back a little bit and kind of figure out what we want to do with that and how we want others to be able to engage with that.
Yep. And since I moved in with you, I feel like we have held back on Patreon a little bit, and that has looked a little different for us, and we've kind of been like brainstorming what do we want to do with this. And I think we finally figured it out, and
And we're putting it like in action
mhm,
right
I
now
am
in
in the
real
middle
time.
of making a lot of edits and a lot of new exciting um things, including Discord.
So just to back up before we just dive in and say we have Discord now, we had Discord before, but I'm 44 years old, and Discord to me, I'm like, wait, we're chatting in a room, then what? And like it seems kind of just not my jam. But here's the thing. Going back to the whole TikTok gave us a community, gave us visibility and representation, and we don't want to lose that for ourselves. But the ones that have stayed close to our journey and have been part of it or need this community, we don't want it to go away for you. We
Mhm.
want to invite y'all over there to be part of it. And I know we have different tier levels of things that we're gonna get into here in a second, but we want y'all over there free. Come over, hang out, be in it, and yeah.
Yeah, and heavy on the free part because I feel like that's a lot of people's concerns as well is like how am I still going to find something that I don't have to pay for monthly because lots of things do cost. But that'll be an option that we will have where we can bring our community back together and whether it's I mean, you don't only talk. It's not only messages. You
The
can
Discord is like the free community part where we're welcoming people into the community to lean on each other and get to know each other.
but you can share pictures and videos in there. You can share voice recordings. It's a lot more than just like conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm excited about it. I think that because we're hyper creative and we're able to pivot and say, listen, we don't want to lose our community. We want y'all to come with us. And we do understand that um, no matter how much money you make, we're all living pretty much paycheck to paycheck these days. And so we want to make sure that we open the doors to have that community that you need to lean on for support.
well, and I think I told you just the other day, had TikTok been taken from me when I was real deep in my coming out moment,
Mm-hmm.
when we had first met and maybe like we had only hung out once or somewhere around that time frame, I think it would have been a lot more devastating for me and
Oh my
possibly
God. Yeah.
caused me to maybe even go back in the
Yep.
closet because I
100%.
wouldn't have had that community behind me. So I think about those people who are like fresh into their moment that I get messages from that are like, holy shit, thank you for putting yourself out
Mm-hmm.
there because this is so me and I relate. And I just want to like hug all those people and be like,
Mm-hmm.
no, don't give up. Like, don't stop, whether TikTok's there or not. Like, there's still other ways to find your people. Might be harder. It's going to be harder, but
But look at how hard it was in the beginning for us putting ourselves out there. I mean, I gotta say, I'm really proud of the type of following that I have today. And it's not based on numbers, it's based on community and demographics of like when I first started TikTok, it was mainly men following me. And I still was getting that attention from men that, we could go into a whole rabbit hole of discussing late in life lesbians, why getting attention from men could be a main factor in like holding you back or thinking that that's filling your cup. And so in the beginning of my TikTok journey, that was my audience. And I had to work through that. And I had to keep posting videos and getting more comfortable with myself. But with that, it led me to the queer community that I have now. And y'all made me feel confident and brave. And I just wanted to keep screaming it louder and louder and sharing my story. And so all of these things happened with that. Had that been taken away from me in the very early stages of me just starting to come out, I think I would still be, I'm just a bisexual, married to a man, attracted to women.
yeah.
And there would be nothing more with it.
Yeah.
But because I threw myself into it, everything changed.
Mhm.
Everything changed. And we're together today because of that. And, thank
Mhm.
you, TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm in such strong denial towards it because I can't wrap my head around the idea of losing what brought me everything that my life like my whole life revolves around this now.
Mm-hmm.
This is not what my life would look like if not for that app. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So back to Patreon.
Mhm.
What are some other, maybe like we need a refresher of our current tiers that we offer, but also new ones that we're adding in real time today, this weekend. We'll be going live and talking more about it, but like, let's talk about that.
Yeah, full disclosure, some of these things might change because I'm very much so in the
Subject to
middle,
change.
subject to change. Yeah, so we had Patreon set up for a while where it was kind of just like 3 or 4 tiers, just depending on how much we were willing to share. We even at some points had like some spicy stuff that we offered. We have a second podcast called Undercovers where we talk about behind closed doors stuff. And so those were kind of the things that we were offering. And we will still offer most of those things minus the spicy stuff because that's no longer a thing.
But the podcast undercovers,
It gets
it's
spicy.
very,
I'm talking like visually spicy. You ain't seeing no visually spicy stuff offered anymore.
yeah, that's not going to happen. But like the podcast undercovers allows us to share tips and tricks and
Things that we've learned.
things that we've learned since being in a relationship together, as this is our first lesbian relationship. We've learned a lot and we've tested a lot of things, and things were new to us for the first time. So we talk about that because I think it's very important to have open conversations, just like your whole life when you're taught how straight people have sex,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yep.
know? So we're not afraid to disclose different things, and that's
And
what happens on that podcast. But we haven't been posting regularly on that, and that's something that's going to ramp back up.
yeah, we're going to ramp that back up. But you should also know there is absolutely similar to this now, no edits done in those
It is, yeah, it
episodes.
is
So it's
completely
like it
raw.
can get raunchy. So
Yeah,
just
no, it
be
is
warned.
whatever. When we hit that, I mean, this is unedited as well.
Right. Like I said, here we do the same thing, but considering the topic of conversation over there, just be prepared. Know what you're getting yourself into. Um, all of those things will still be offered through Patreon, but then we'll have some new tiers. One surrounding my workout journey and what hopefully will become a one-on-one training with people, sharing things like calendars, motivational journal writings, diet and exercise trackers, progress pictures, and a community of people that want to get healthy.
Yeah.
Back in 2020, I lost like 60 plus pounds, and I'm really passionate about it. Currently handicapped and can't do much, but that'll change. So once it does, that tier will be there, and then VIP tier will still be offered, and that'll be everything.
The VIP
That'll be really where
really
you want to be.
get your foot in the door to everything that we offer, basically.
But the most exciting of all, in my opinion, is that we'll be doing one-on-one counseling and coaching with other couples. I mean,
Yeah.
specifically
It doesn't
lesbian couples, but it doesn't have to.
it doesn't
I
have
guess it
to
doesn't
be a
have to
couple
be.
either. I mean, it could be somebody who you just came out and you're like, what do I do next? Or I'm in the process of telling my husband and my family, and I'm scared shitless and I don't know where to start.
Even if all you need is someone to look at you and say, "You're doing great. Everything's gonna be okay." Like
Yeah.
someone you can just talk to, cry, vent.
But there's a lot of tools that we've talked about that you could share about being more of a stay-at-home mom and
Mhm.
how to start the process of um, going out on your own. That's a scary thing for
When you're not the breadwinner.
when you're not the breadwinner
Yeah.
and you're the stay-at-home mom and you're doing all of the upkeep and taking care of the kids and you run the ship. And now
Mhm.
it's a scary time because you're like, oh my God, I'm coming out. I cannot hide this anymore. What do I need to do? How do
Mhm.
I get to be independent? What are the steps?
Mhm. Yeah.
How to make the scary moves and pick your hard.
Yeah, because I think I've said it on here before. I think not having independence is a lot of the reason that women stay stagnant in where
Mhm.
they're at in life.
Mhm.
And it's
Yep.
sad because I've been there and I know how it feels like you're trapped or in a prison, and it's not fun.
Yeah. So yeah, those are all things that we're rolling into and we're excited about. We're excited about getting more comfortable on YouTube. I mean, obviously you can watch the podcast video. I'm waving to you if you're watching. I'm waving to you right now. Yeah, you can be on YouTube, and we're going to start to the same similar content that you were seeing on TikTok. We hope to do that on YouTube Shorts
Yep.
and hope to get a little bit more comfortable on Instagram. For me, I'm saying that for myself. I need to change some things on Instagram, and I need to be a little bit more forward with people and let like reintroduce myself.
I think like reshaping your algorithm on Instagram and just more consistency, I think, is
Yep.
your biggest thing about Instagram. And same with me. Mine I don't struggle with the same things you do when it comes to Instagram, but I struggle with being a part of too many like mom influencers still, because back when I first joined Instagram, that's where I was at, was like mom trains, and which like that isn't what it sounds like, but there were mom trains and there were I know and like collaborations with like baby brands, and my account was very focused around my kids, and then I switched it all up and made that, my account and a
Mhm.
person, whatever. All of that aside, I have things that I need to fix on mine as well.
So we're doing it. We're doing it all, and whether or not TikTok goes away, like I said, this
There are
kind
still
of
places you'll be able to find
gave
us.
us the extra oomph and ammunition.
The extra what?
Oomph.
Oomph?
You like when I use that word.
The extra oomph.
Oomph. Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah, so we're just like we're getting it done and we're showing up for you guys even more than we were before, and we're excited about it, and we hope that it turns into something just as great as TikTok was and even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We hope it just keeps getting bigger and taking us places to someday eventually be on stage somewhere speaking and
Yeah.
interviewing and
Oof.
building relationships. Like that makes me excited.
Just know if you ever see me on stage in front of a bunch of people, I have had some serious growth because my ass is scared of that kind of stuff. I'll
Well,
do it,
we're
but
doing it. We're
oof.
doing it.
Also, if you're listening to this on Monday and TikTok is gone, call and check on me because I'm probably not all right. I'm
Yeah, same.
probably not
You know,
okay
Monday's going to be a hard day, and
in general.
in general, and a lot of companies have the day that they're closed. Even schools are closed, and unfortunately, I still have to work, and that may be a good thing to distract me. Right? It's nice to be distracted, but there's going to be a lot of melancholy if it's going to be for
If
multiple
TikTok
reasons.
disappears at the same time, yeah, I mean, I have to actually go to work on Monday too, and the person I'm working with might actually see me cry. Might not be a great first impression.
Yeah. Our plan is to go live on TikTok throughout today and the weekend as much as we can. And whatever that is, whether we're cooking or just hanging out or working on some of our new platform content, y'all are going to see it.
I think we
And
just want to like suck as much of the
mm-hmm,
community in
yeah.
as we can, just in case it does go away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
But
really
I'm glad we joined when we did. I'm glad it brought us the people and the community and all of the great things. And fuck, even bought us toilet paper yesterday because you got paid on one of your
facts.
videos.
I know.
And we're gonna miss that. We're gonna miss that TikTok income.
I'm saying, yeah. I mean, I don't make a ton on TikTok by any means, but
Occasionally a
occasionally I
video
do.
pops off and you get
I'm like
paid for it, and that's a
150
good
bucks for one video? Shoot, all right, I'll take it.
and it's not
Cool,
like
cool.
somebody's like message you saying like we want to do a collab with you and you
No,
got
that's
and
just
here's
like
your script.
purely
This is
creator pro
yeah,
like fund. Yeah.
creator fund, and like that is a beautiful thing to have, and
And
that's
it makes
sad.
me think about all the people that rely on it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that's not me, and I'm not
People
in that
that like walked
position.
away from their corporate careers or dreams and
Shoot.
said, I am a full-time content creator.
Mm-hmm.
And now one platform goes away that helped kind of get us all to be these full-time content creators. That's a scary thing, but like I said, we are all hyper creative, and I know as a creative, when somebody takes something from you, you come back with so many more ideas of improvements and key learnings that you didn't have when you first started. And you're going to grow and you're going to make something amazing after if TikTok goes away. I know it. I absolutely know it.
Well,
And some
and
people might be looking forward to the mental break.
oh, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are. And I don't know. I look back at the history of socials, and it's like, I mean, we've seen it all. They're
You
all
didn't
the
see Friendster. If you're in
mm-mm.
your 40s and you were once on Friendster, raise your hand because I was on Friendster before MySpace.
But it's funny because you saying that like the Discord chat room thing isn't really your jam. That reminds me of when I first started
Y'all were in
sneaking.
AOL.
Yes,
You
and
were on
I would
AOL chat
stay
groups.
up after my mom had gone to bed, and I would sneak into the room that had the one computer in the house, and I would dial up and I would sit on AOL chat groups for hours.
Can I confess something?
Sure.
That is why when I first started relogging into Discord and then I quickly handed it off to you, I knew damn well that you were going to get more excited about a little chat room, setting it up and going through some learnings and tutorials and whatnot, how to's. And like you're already a pro at it because you're like young, so much younger than me.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the chat rooms.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure there's differences, but yeah, I mean, I'm not huge on chat rooms anymore. I barely can keep up with like a three-person chat on my text
Yeah, group
messages.
chats are like, they're a lot. They're
I
a lot to
love
follow.
them. I prefer them, especially like how we've had conversations based around like the comfortability in within a couple to have like open conversations with our friends or whatever, but I just have a hard time taking in too much info. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yep.
Um, but it's going to be really good for the people that need a community. And I think out of that community, people will branch out and find their people.
Yep.
Just like TikTok, we found our people. And each other.
So we will link in this podcast recording. You will be able to find our Patreon link very easily. Just scroll down and you should see it.
Mhm.
And if not, DM us. Like always, if you feel like you would make a great, interesting guest on the podcast, please DM us. We are trying to fill our calendar and build out our 2025
We have some
guest
really
list.
exciting guests that we're
And we're
working with.
starting to work on locking in dates. So
Mhm.
please, if you want to be a guest, message us. And then, as always, if you want to help us in any way in return for us showing up for you every week, subscribe and like the YouTube channel and whatever platform you're listening to this podcast. Please give it a review. That goes a really long way and helps us. So if you can do that, we love you for that.
And
Thank
it's
you.
free. It's free to do that.
It's free. It takes a minute. While you're listening right now, you can be quickly rating. Give us 5 stars if you
5,
want.
yeah.
5, like, yeah.
If
do
you
that.
don't want to give us 5 stars, just don't rate it.
No, you can still rate it. You can still rate it. Be honest. I want feedback. I want to learn from this. I want feedback.
Yeah.
But we love you guys. And if you found us on TikTok and you followed our journey, we are personally saying thank you, thank you, thank you. We couldn't have done this without you. We're not going anywhere. We're growing and we're excited to grow with you.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's all we have for today. We'll get through next week, and I'm excited to see what this next recording brings because we're probably going to have a lot to talk
Because
about.
I might be in full breakdown mode.
We'll get through it, though. We always get through it.
We do. Yeah. Bye.